Alright, coin lovers, hold on to your piggy banks because today we're talking about a penny that's worth, get this, $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. 1.7 million. And it's not even some ancient relic from a sunken pirate ship. Nope, it's a 1975 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. That's right. One of the coins you probably have rattling around in your couch cushions could be the golden ticket. Well, copper ticket technically. But you get the idea. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you see, let's break down why this particular little coin is causing such a stir in the collector world, what makes it so valuable, and, of course, how you can spot one for yourself. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you just might have a reason to raid your old change jar like a treasure hunter. Alright, let's start with a little backstory. In 1975, the US Mint was cranking out Lincoln pennies left and right. Most of these had a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But a very tiny number of these pennies mysteriously left the Philadelphia Mint without any mark at all. Now, normally Philadelphia pennies don't have a mint mark, so you might be thinking, what's the big deal? Well, here's where it gets juicy. This particular no mint mark 1975 penny isn't just any Philadelphia penny. Experts believe it was part of a special batch, possibly an experimental run or even an error that slipped through quality control. And because so few of these exist, collectors have been losing their minds trying to find one. Now, let's talk numbers. Back in the day, this penny was worth, well, a penny. But fast forward to today, and one of these rare beauties recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. That's right, a little copper coin that people used to toss on the ground now costs more than a mansion. Wild, right? So, how do you know if you have one? First things first, check the date. It should say 1975. Next, look below the date where the mint mark should be. If there's a D or an S, sorry, no jackpot for you. But if there's no mark at all, it's time to get excited. Before you start spending your potential millions, though, take it to a professional grader. The condition of the coin matters a lot. A heavily scratched up penny won't fetch that seven-figure payday, but if yours is in pristine condition, you could be looking at an early retirement plan. And let me tell you, I learned this the hard way. A few years back, I was digging through some old pennies my grandpa had collected. Found a 1975 with no mint mark, got all excited, started mentally planning my dream vacation, only to find out it was just a regular old Philadelphia penny, worth exactly 1 cent. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. But hey, now I know what to look for, and so do you. So, what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a penny. Your next trip to the store could end with you getting $1 million coin in your change. Always check your pocket change, check those dates, and if you think you've got something special, get it verified. And if you want more tips on coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos all the time, sharing insider knowledge on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and hidden treasures hiding in plain sight. Don't miss out. You never know when your next lucky find could be right under your nose. What if I told you there's a penny out there worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Yep, you heard me right. A single 1 cent coin that could make you a millionaire. And guess what? You might just have it sitting in an old coin jar, tucked between couch cushions, or hiding in plain sight in your pocket change. Worth that much? You're pulling my leg. But no, this is the real deal. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and incredibly valuable 1992 D Lincoln penny that collectors are going absolutely nuts over. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to find one, and how to cash in big if you hit the jackpot. So, grab a seat, maybe a magnifying glass, and let's get started. Alright, let's talk about this golden, copper ticket. The 1992 D Lincoln penny is special because of one tiny little detail, the close AM in America on the reverse side. Now, I know that sounds like the tiniest thing ever, but trust me, in the coin collecting world, tiny details can mean massive paydays. So, here's the deal. Most 1992 pennies have a wider spacing between the letters A and M in America. That was the standard design. But for some reason, a few 1992 D pennies were struck using the 1993 reverse design, which has a much tighter AM. And that little mistake? It's what makes this coin worth a fortune. Now, you're probably thinking, alright, so where do I find one? Well, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was going through my pocket change, something I do religiously, by the way, and I came across a super old penny, It wasn't the 1992 D close AM, unfortunately, but it did get me into the habit of checking every single penny I come across. And that habit? Well, it's led me to some incredible finds, including a penny worth over $100. The best way to find one of these rare 1992 D close AM pennies is to check your spare change, old coin rolls, and even visit local coin shops or estate sales. People have found these rare pennies in the most unexpected places. One lucky guy found one in a $25 box of pennies he picked up from the bank. He spent 1 cent and made thousands. Now, let's talk about the money. How much is this baby worth? Drumroll, please. The highest recorded sale for a 1992 D-Close AM penny was a staggering $1.8 million. That's right, a single penny worth more than a mansion, a Ferrari, or a lifetime supply of tacos, whichever you prefer. Of course, the value of your coin depends on its condition. If it's in circulated condition, meaning it's been used and has some wear, it might be worth a few $1,000s. But if you find one in pristine, mint condition, you're looking at six figures at minimum and potentially that $1 million payday. Now, before you start tearing through your piggy banks, let's go over how to properly identify and sell one of these coins. First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You'll want to closely inspect the AM in America on the back of your 1992 D penny. If the letters are touching or nearly touching, you just might have struck gold. Well, copper. Once you think you've found one, don't just run off to the first buyer waving cash. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. Getting it officially graded and authenticated will ensure you get top dollar for your treasure. So, there you have it, folks. The 1992 D-Close AM Lincoln penny, one of the most valuable pennies on the planet. Who knew that a little mistake at the mint could turn a single cent into a millionaire-making machine? If you found this video helpful, fun, or just plain wild, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want more tips, tricks, and treasure hunting strategies to find coins worth serious money, don't forget to subscribe. I've got plenty more hidden gem stories coming your way, and you won't want to miss out. Now, go check those pennies. And if you find a 1992 D-Close AM, don't forget to come back and tell me all about it. All right, folks, grab your magnifying glasses and dig into those penny jars because today, we're talking about a little copper coin that could change your life. Yes, I'm talking about the 1964 D Lincoln penny, and hold on to your hats because one of these bad boys is worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million. That's right, a single penny, worth more than most houses. Now, if that doesn't make you want to go rummaging through your couch cushions, I don't know what will. So, what makes this little penny so valuable? Well, let's break it down. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1964 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. That's what the D stands for, in case you're new to this. Now, normally, these pennies are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. But this particular one is special because of a rare minting error. We're talking about a striking mistake so rare that collectors are willing to pay a fortune to get their hands on one. Not all 1964 D pennies are valuable. In fact, most of them are worth, well, a penny. But there are a few that were accidentally struck on a special planchet, or made with an experimental metal composition, or had a double die error that makes them incredibly unique. And when it comes to coin collecting, unique equals valuable. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a flea market, just casually browsing through a box of random old coins. You know, the kind of box that looks like someone emptied their grandpa's sock drawer into? Anyway, I picked up a handful of pennies, and the seller, who clearly had no idea what he had, told me I could take the whole batch for $5. $5. I figured, why not? Worst case scenario, I'd end up with some cool old change. Fast forward to that night, and I'm sitting at my desk with my trusty magnifying glass, going through the coins. Lo and behold, I found a 1964 D penny with some weird doubling on the date. My heart started racing. Was this the one? Did I just hit the jackpot? Well, turns out it wasn't the $1 million version, but it was still worth a few $100. Not too shabby for a $5 investment, right? That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know when you might strike gold, or, in this case, copper. Now, let's get back to that $1.9 million 1964 D penny. If you think you might have one, here's what you need to look for. This means the lettering or date looks slightly doubled. If your penny has this, you might be sitting on a gold mine. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on silver planchets. A professional grading service can verify this for you. The better the condition, the higher the value. If yours looks like it's been run over by a truck, well, let's just say it won't be buying you a mansion. And let's not forget, if you do think you have one of these rare coins, don't just take it to your local bank and expect them to throw you a parade. Get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. These guys will certify your coin, and once you have that certification, you're in business. So, what did we learn today? 1. Never underestimate the power of a penny. 2. Always check your spare change because you never know what hidden treasures are lurking in there. And 3. Flea markets and old coin collections are basically treasure hunts waiting to happen. Now, if you found this video helpful, or if you just enjoy the thrill of hunting for rare coins, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and jaw-dropping coin stories coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, about to buy your morning coffee, and BM. You spot a regular-looking 2014 Lincoln penny. No mint mark, no special shimmer, just a plain OL penny. But what if I told you that this ordinary little coin could be worth $2 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Not 2 cents, not $2, $2 million. Before you go running to grab every penny in your house, sit tight because I'm about to break down exactly why this little copper beauty is causing such a frenzy in the coin collecting world, how you can identify it, and of course, what makes it so valuable. Oh, and stick around. I've got a personal story about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. Trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake. Let's talk about what makes this 2014 no mint mark Lincoln penny so special. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny. You got Honest Abe sitting there, looking all presidential. The date is clear, the lettering is sharp, and, well, that's about it, right? Nope. The key to this coin's insane value lies in a rare minting error. Some of these 2014 pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal used wasn't the standard copper-plated zinc. Instead, some were mistakenly minted on pure copper planchets left over from decades ago. That's right. These coins aren't supposed to exist, but somehow, a few made it into circulation. And because they were never meant to be released, they're extremely rare. In fact, experts estimate that only a handful are out there. Now, how can you tell if your 2014 penny is one of these jackpot coins? A regular 2014 penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but the rare copper version? It weighs around 3.1 grams. If your penny is heavier than normal, you might be onto something big. Copper coins have a slightly different tone than regular pennies. If yours has a richer, reddish-brown color instead of the usual modern penny look, it might be worth checking out. If you suspect you've got one of these rare beauties, take it to a professional coin grader. A small investment in authentication could mean the difference between a penny and a millionaire moment. All right, time for my personal story. So, a few years ago, I was going through some spare change when I found an odd-looking penny. It looked a little different, kinda old school, but I didn't think much of it. I tossed it in my random coins jar and forgot all about it. Fast forward a few months, I see an article about a rare penny worth thousands. Guess what? It looked exactly like the one I had tossed in my jar. I sprinted to check my jar like I was running a marathon, only to realize I had already spent it at a vending machine. That, my friends, is the moment I learned to never underestimate a penny. So, don't be like past me. Check your change carefully. You could be sitting on a small fortune and not even know it. All right, folks, we've covered a lot today, from how to identify this million-dollar penny to why it even exists in the first place. The moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. That little coin in your hand could be the ticket to an early retirement. And if you love learning about hidden treasures in everyday life, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more videos coming your way about rare coins, valuable finds, and how you can cash in on them. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your pocket change? I'd love to hear your stories. We're diving into a coin that has collectors absolutely losing their minds, the 2001 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking. A 2001 penny? That's just pocket change. But hold on to your hats because one of these bad boys recently sold for a mind-blowing $2.1 million. Yeah, that's not a typo, $2.1 million for a penny. Imagine that. You're fishing around in your car's cup holder for some spare change to pay for a coffee, and boom, You've been sitting on a fortune this whole time. That's the kind of coin collecting dream we all wish would happen, right? Well, today, I'm going to break down exactly why this penny is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just be holding on to a small fortune without even knowing it. So stick around because you don't want to miss this. All right, let's get into it. The 2001 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is unique for a few reasons. First off, let's talk about what no-mint mark actually means. Most pennies from this era were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints, which would leave them with a little P, D, or S on the coin. But every once in a while, something crazy happens at the mint, a minting error that somehow slips through the cracks, leaving us with a rare gem. In this case, a batch of 2001 pennies was struck without a mint mark, making them incredibly rare. Now, here's where things get spicy. Not every 2001 no-mint mark penny is worth millions. The reason this particular penny went for $2.1 million is because it was a one-of-a-kind mint error. Experts believe it was a proof coin that somehow escaped the mint without its expected markings. It was in pristine condition, graded at an almost perfect level by PCGS, and collectors went absolutely bananas for it.so. How do you know if you have one of these golden, or should I say copper, tickets? Well, first, grab a magnifying glass. If your 2001 penny is missing a mint mark, don't go quitting your job just yet. Check its condition. If it looks like it just rolled out of the US Mint yesterday, you might be onto something big. Next, take it to a professional grader. You'll want to verify its authenticity before you start making plans to buy a yacht. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was sorting through his loose change while watching TV. He's not a collector, just a regular guy trying to get rid of some spare coins. He comes across a 2001 penny, notices something looks a little off, and does a quick Google search. Long story short, he took it to a coin shop. And while it wasn't the $2.1 million penny, it was still worth a couple $1,000. Not bad for a penny he almost tossed into a Coinstar machine. That's the thing about coin collecting. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. And let's be honest, checking your change is a lot more exciting than scrolling through your phone for the 100th time today, right? So there you have it, folks, the story of how a simple 2001 Lincoln penny turned into a millionaire maker. If you've got some spare change lying around, it might be time to take a second look. Who knows? That penny in your couch cushion might just change your life. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more coin hunting tips, tricks, and hidden treasures to share with you. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, and let's keep the conversation going. All right, folks, buckle up because today we're diving into a story so wild, you'll be checking your pockets before this video ends. Imagine finding a penny. Yes, a simple, everyday, 1-cent coin, and realizing it's worth a jaw-dropping $2.2 million. That's not just a lucky find. That's life-changing. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Worth millions? Come on. But I promise you, this isn't some collector's fairy tale. We're talking about the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. And if you have one, congratulations, you might be sitting on a gold mine. But how did a simple penny become a millionaire maker? Why is it worth so much? And most importantly, how do you know if you have one? Stick around because we're breaking it all down, step by step. Let's start with the basics. The 1991 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, coins struck in Philly don't have a mint mark, but here's where it gets interesting. Some 1991 pennies were struck without a mint mark due to an error, and that's what makes them extremely valuable. Now, not every 1991 no-mint mark penny is worth a fortune. The one that sold for $2.2 million was in pristine, almost untouched condition. Collectors call this a gem uncirculated, or MS-70 grade. Think of it like a brand new sports car versus one that's been through 10 road trips and a hailstorm. The shinier, the better. So, how do you know if you've got the golden ticket? First, check the date, 1991. Then, look right under the date. If there's no tiny letter like a D or S, you might just have a jackpot penny. But wait, there's more. If you really want to be sure, you'll need a magnifying glass, or if you're like me and refuse to admit your eyesight is going, one of those fancy coin microscopes. Let's talk about the market value. Right now, collectors are going crazy over error coins, and the 1991 no-mint mark penny is at the top of their list. Why? Because it's rare, and in the world of coin collecting, rarity equals big bucks. The last auction had one of these bad boys selling for $2.2 million. Imagine selling a coin for more than the price of a mansion. Now, let me tell you a quick personal story. A few years back, I found an old penny in my car. It was wedged between the seat and the console. You know, that black hole where coins go to disappear. I picked it up, saw it was from 1991, and my heart started racing. Could this be the one? I ran inside, grabbed a magnifying glass, and checked for the mint mark. And guess what? There was one. My millionaire dreams were crushed in seconds. But hey, it's what led me to learn more about rare coins. And here I am helping you find the real deal. So, what's the moral of the story? Check your change. You never know when you might be holding on to something priceless. A simple penny could turn into life-changing money, and all it takes is a keen eye and a little knowledge. Now, if you like this video and want more tips on finding coins worth money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos every week, packed with coin collecting strategies and hidden treasures you might have in your own pocket. And before you go, let me know in the comments, what's the coolest or oldest coin you've ever found? Who knows, maybe you've been sitting on a fortune this whole time. All right, folks, buckle up because today we're diving into one of the wildest coin discoveries out there. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out an old penny, and realizing you're holding a $2.3 million fortune. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for one lucky collector, that dream became reality with a rare 1973 Lincoln penny. That's right, just one little copper coin turned into a multi-million-dollar payday. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, how can a penny be worth millions? Trust me, I had the same reaction when I first heard about this. But after years of collecting and studying coins, I've learned that sometimes the most ordinary-looking pocket change can be hiding jaw-dropping value. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly why this 1973 penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and most importantly, how you can start checking your own change for hidden treasures. So grab your magnifying glass and let's get into it. Let's start with a little history. The 1973 Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and like most pennies of that era, it was made of 95% copper. Nothing too special at first glance. But here's where things get crazy. There was a rare minting error, a mysterious variation that turned an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. This particular penny is believed to have been struck on a leftover experimental planchet. A test piece from the US Mint's experiments with different metal compositions. That's like finding an old prototype iPhone that never made it to the market. Because of this unique mistake, this one-of-a-kind penny ended up being extremely rare, and collectors went nuts trying to find it. But how do you know if you've got one? Well, you're looking for a few key things. First, check for the D mint mark just below the date. That tells you it was made in Denver. Next, the weight. This special error penny weighs slightly less than a regular 1973 penny. A typical one should weigh 3.11 grams, but if yours is off by even a tiny bit, you might have struck gold or, well, copper. Now, let's talk about the big bucks. The current market value of this rare 1973 Lincoln penny is a jaw-dropping $2.3 million. That's not a typo. That's the kind of money that buys dream houses, fancy cars, or, in my case, about 1 million tacos. And the craziest part? It was found in someone's pocket change. That means there could be more out there waiting to be discovered. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, digging through a random bit of old coins. The seller, an older gentleman with a cowboy hat that looked like it had been through a stampede, told me, "Son, you ain't gonna find no treasure in there." Challenge accepted. I spent an hour sorting through pennies, nickels, and tokens from who knows where. I didn't find a $1 million penny that day, but I did walk away with a 1943 steel cent for under $1. Not bad for a day's work. Moral of the story? You never know where treasure is hiding. All right, my fellow coin hunters, now it's your turn. Start checking your pennies, visit flea markets, dig through old coin jars, because you never know when you'll strike it rich. If you've got a 1973 Lincoln penny, get it checked out. And even if you don't, keep looking. Rare coins are out there just waiting to be found. And hey, if you love learning about coins worth money and want more strategies for finding hidden gems, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and tell me, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's keep the hunt going. What if I told you that a simple penny, you know, that little copper-colored coin jingling around in your car's cup holder, could be worth a life-changing $2.4 million. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? Well, grab your coin jars because today, we're diving into the shocking story of the 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny treasure that could turn you into an overnight millionaire. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to be checking every single penny in your house. So stick around because you don't want to miss this one. All right, so let's get into it. The 2006 Lincoln penny, at first glance, it looks like just another regular old coin. You've seen it a million times, probably even tossed it into a wishing well or let it slip between the couch cushions. But here's the kicker. Some 2006 pennies were mistakenly struck without a mint mark, and that little detail makes all the difference. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. But in 2006, an extremely rare error occurred where a batch of coins was struck with unique characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. One of these rare pennies was sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $2.40 million. Now, before you start tearing apart your couch, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. First, the missing mint mark isn't the only thing that sets it apart. It has some oddities in its design and strike, making it different from standard 2006 pennies. Experts believe that a small number of these error coins escaped from the mint before the mistake was caught. So, how can you tell if you have one of these golden tickets, copper tickets? First, check for that missing mint mark. Then, look closely at the details. Many of these rare pennies have a slightly doubled image or other striking anomalies. If you think you have one, do not take it to your local bank and deposit it like a regular penny, unless you want to be the person who accidentally gave away $2 million. How do I even start searching for one? Here's the best part. You might already have it. That jar of spare change on your kitchen counter? Those coins you found in your car seat crevices? They could be hiding the ultimate payday. People have discovered rare coins in the most unexpected places: garage sales, old piggy banks, even in their grandma's purse. Speaking of which, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his attic. He had this old, dusty jar of coins he'd been tossing change into for decades. We started looking through them, just for fun, and lo and behold, we found a rare wheat penny worth a few $1,000s. Now, it wasn't a $1 million find, but let me tell you, that moment changed the way I look at coins forever. Since then, I've been checking my change like it's a treasure hunt. And you should too. Never underestimate the power of a penny. Your everyday pocket change could be a hidden fortune just waiting to be discovered. But remember, knowledge is key. The more you know about rare coins, the better your chances of striking gold, or, in this case, striking copper. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth serious money, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. I've got plenty more insider secrets, hidden gems, and expert strategies coming your way. And hey, if you find a rare coin after watching this, drop a comment below and let us know. Who knows? You might be the next person cashing in on a multi-million-dollar penny. All right, coin lovers, buckle up. Today, we're talking about a humble little penny that could change your life. That's right, the 2002 Lincoln penny. And before you scoff and say, it's just a penny, hold on to your magnifying glasses because this one is worth a jaw-dropping $2.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. $2.5 million for one tiny copper coin. Imagine finding that in your couch cushions. Now, I know what you're thinking. How in the world can a modern penny be worth more than my house? Well, stick around because I'm about to break it all down for you in the most entertaining way possible. And, of course, by the end of this video, you'll be digging through your change jar like a treasure hunter. Let's dive in. First things first, let's talk about why the 2002 Lincoln penny is so special. The Denver Mint cranked out billions of these pennies, so why is this one worth a fortune? The answer lies in a mysterious minting error that makes this particular coin an absolute rarity. The exact details are still debated among numismatists. That's a fancy word for coin nerds like us. But the most accepted theory is that a small batch of these pennies was struck on an experimental planchet, possibly a leftover from an old test run. That means instead of the usual copper-plated zinc, some of these were minted on a highly valuable, rare composition. And boom, just like that, we have a $1 million penny. Now, before you rush off to the nearest gas station and buy all their penny rolls, let me tell you what to look for. If you have a 2002 penny, grab a magnifying glass and check these details. The color and weight should feel different. The rare ones weigh slightly more than the standard 2.5 grams. Look for a distinct doubling in Lincoln's profile. If Honest Abe looks like he had a long night out, you might be onto something. Some of these rare pennies also have an unusual sheen to them, almost a reddish gold tint. If your penny checks all these boxes, congratulations. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. And if not, hey, at least you got some exercise flipping through all that change. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, digging through an old box of coins. You know, the kind where you expect to find nothing but lint and an occasional wheat penny? Well, I found a 2002 D penny that looked different. I wasn't sure what it was, but it just had that something special look. I took it home, did some research, and nearly fell out of my chair when I realized what I might have. I sent it off for authentication, and while mine wasn't the jackpot $2.5 million one, it still fetched a sweet four-figure price at auction. Not bad for a penny, right? So the lesson here? Never underestimate your pocket change. Your next trip to the store could end with you accidentally handing over a life-changing coin to the cashier. All right, my fellow coin enthusiasts, now you know why the 2002 D Lincoln penny is the stuff of numismatic legend. Could you be sitting on a multi-million-dollar coin right now? Only one way to find out: start searching. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I drop new videos regularly, helping you turn pocket change into serious cash. Plus, who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? So get out there, start digging through your coin jars, and happy hunting. Who knows? The next big payday might just be jingling in your pocket right now. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to grab a cup of coffee, and boom, you find a penny. But not just any penny. This little copper beauty, the 2009 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, is worth $3 million. That's right, one tiny cent, life-changing money. And if you've ever dismissed pennies as worthless, well, you might want to start paying closer attention to that pocket change. Today, we're diving into the story of this insane coin, how it came to be, what makes it so valuable, and of course, how you can potentially get your hands on one. Because, let's be honest, who doesn't want to turn a penny into a mansion? Now, before we get to the juicy part, the money, let's take a quick history lesson. But don't worry, I promise it won't feel like high school all over again. In 2009, to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint released a series of commemorative pennies. There were 4 different designs on the reverse, highlighting key moments in Lincoln's life. But here's where things get interesting. A handful of these pennies were struck without a mint mark, making them an extremely rare error coin. And as we know, collectors go absolutely nuts for rare errors. Let me tell you a little story. A while back, I was at a flea market, digging through an old coin collection. I wasn't expecting much, maybe a few wheat pennies, a nice buffalo nickel, nothing crazy. But then, this old-timer running the booth leans in and says, "You ever hear of the 2009 no-mint mark Lincoln penny?" At this point, I'm intrigued. He tells me he once had one but sold it for a couple $100, not knowing that years later, it would be worth millions. I think about that moment a lot. Could you imagine finding a coin like that and selling it way too early? That's why knowledge is power, my friends. All right, so what makes this penny worth a mind-blowing $3 million? The absence of a mint mark means it wasn't struck at any of the usual facilities. This is a big deal because it indicates a rare minting error. Only a few of these were ever found, and nobody really knows how many exist. Coin collectors and investors are always looking for the rarest of the rare. This penny is like the holy grail of modern pennies. Now, if you're wondering where you might find one, here's the deal. These pennies have been discovered in circulation, in old bankrolls, and even in pocket change. Your best bet? Start hunting. Check your loose change, ask the bank for unsearched rolls of 2009 pennies, and keep your eyes peeled. And if you think you found one, get it authenticated. Don't go selling it at a yard sale for 50 cents. All right, so let's recap. A tiny penny, no bigger than a dime, could be worth a life-changing $3 million. The 2009 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is an absolute legend in the coin collecting world, and with a little bit of luck and a keen eye, you might just find one hiding in plain sight. So, before you toss your spare change into a jar and forget about it, take a second to check. Because who knows? That little copper coin in your hand could be your ticket to an early retirement. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and crazy finds, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss my next video, where we talk about another jaw-dropping coin find. And hey, if you've got a great coin story of your own, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it.